Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus, where today we are talking Avengers Doomsday. It's all the talk right now. But more specifically, we're talking about the Fantastic Four. Because with the Fantastic Four finally joining the MCU, many fans are already looking ahead to Avengers Doomsday and their role in that film. The film is expected to introduce Doctor Doom as the franchise's next major villain, making the Fantastic Four far more than just another superhero team. But what role will Marvel's first family actually play? Could they become the emotional center of this very story, or will they just suffer devastating consequences that might reshape the future of the MCU? So today, we are exploring what might happen to the Fantastic Four in Avengers Doomsday. Now, if you remember, I did a video on what might happen to the X-Men, what might happen to the Avengers. Now we're into the Fantastic Four. And fear not, we are not done yet. We have still got a few months till the Avengers Doomsday film, and I'm going to milk this content as much as possible. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, we need to talk about the position that we actually left the Fantastic Four in the film in 2025. Unlike most of the MCU heroes, the Fantastic Four entered the MCU with quite an established history, explorers, scientists, and the close-knitted family that we all know them from. But their experience with cosmic phenomena, dimensional travel, also make them some of the few heroes capable of actually understanding the larger threat posed by Doctor Doom and the multiverse itself. Now, rather than joining the Avengers themselves, they may actually become the team that explains what truly is happening. By the way, they're the first team to interact with Doomsday as far as we know it right now. With the post-credit scene of that film, we know that they are the first people right now to actually have experienced Doctor Doom, whether that's true in the film or that's later on, but we know that they have crossed paths. Now, that should kind of give a better understanding to Doctor Doom's personal connection with the Fantastic Four. Obviously, the one reason the Fantastic Four are likely to play a central role in Doomsday is because the sheer rivalry between Reed Richards and Doctor Doom is probably one of the best in Marvel history. And I think if you neglect that in this film, you could be in a world of trouble in terms of Marvel. And they are, obviously, as I said, they are likely to play a central role in their long-standing rivalry with Doctor Doom. But unlike villains such as Thanos or Kang, Doom's greatest conflicts have always been deeply personal, particularly with Reed Richards. And going after his son, I think, is very, very personal. I think their rivalry is built on competing intellects, wounded pride, and fundamentally just different visions for humanity's future. And if the MCU wants to preserve that dynamic, the conflict in Doomsday may feel far more emotional than the previous Avengers films. Yes, Avengers Endgame was a lot more personal for audiences, and then obviously characters like Iron Man and Captain America, but this one has to divert from them completely. Bringing back RDJ as Doctor Doom for the person, he might look as a variant, so it might pull on the heartstrings of certain characters, to then give Captain America old age and then bring him back as Nomad is really weird. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me, but it needs to be it needs to be the Fantastic Four, the main center of this film, and if they're not, it's fucked. Reed Richards, as I said, is going to be very important, and I think in this entire film, he will be, if not needs to be, the strategic and central leader of everyone. The MCU has often relied on Tony Stark to solve the greatest scientific problems, but the role is now obviously vacant, but also, I do believe... But also, Tony Stark is currently playing as Doctor Doom. Now, there has been a theory. I'm gonna say it. I don't believe in it. Someone said they might play. He's gonna with the amount of money that he's getting, he might play two roles. He might play Doctor Doom, and he also might play a variant of Iron Man. No, don't do that, because that just defeats the importance of having him as Doctor Doom. It doesn't make sense. But that's besides the point. Reed Richards, I think, is the obvious successor, possessing one of the greatest minds in the Marvel comics, or any comic for that matter. And during Doomsday, Reed could become the strategist, like responsible for understanding the multiversal threats, such as incursions, and that's probably why they went to the Earth 19999 at the end of the Thunderbolts, developing solutions. And also, they would coordinate heroes across different realities. As we know, Gambit's going to be in this, and I imagine Wolverine and Deadpool will be as well. But his intelligence may prove just as important as the Avengers' combined strength. I'll reiterate this, Reed Richards needs to be central, and I need that vicious, the Maker type version of him. You don't want, I mean, he's just taking his kid. I highly doubt that it's going to be a case of, oh, he's a villain, we must get him, we must reunite a team and get him. I do believe there'll be Venom in him, not Venom, he'll be furious, and that like furious, I think, might overtake him a bit. However, you cannot neglect the family dynamic, because one aspect that sets the Fantastic Four apart from every other major MCU team is that they are the first and foremost a family in Marvel Comics. Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Ben don't simply just fight together, they live together, they argue together, and they protect one another, one above all. But that emotional bond could prove a refreshing contrast to fractured relationships that defined many recent MCU teams. Obviously, you saw that dwindling with Civil War, and then you could see that still dwindling in the likes of Endgame. But reminding audiences that the stakes aren't just about saving worlds, but protecting the people closest to you, I think is a great balance. You are still pulling on the heartstrings of the audience, and you are still having that action that everyone's wanted to see for years now. Okay, I'm gonna put a hint in the video. I've planned to put a hint in this video, and it's related to this very bit of the video, and it's who could suffer a major loss. Ergo hint. Marvel has often used major crossover films to permanently change beloved characters. With Doctor Doom expected to become one of the MCU's greatest villains beyond Thanos, beyond Kang, there is a possibility that the Fantastic Four could experience a devastating personal loss during Doomsday. Now, if anyone has followed the comics, and if anyone has followed the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom in Battleworld, some people might know that Thing basically bites the dust and becomes the throne for Doctor Doom. And if Battleworld comes in Secret Wars, I think that would be a very good thing. I don't know if you'd be able to bring him back. That's the problem. I mean, you'd only have him for 2 films. I don't know if that's worth it, but that's just something you need to be a bit careful of. Now, whether through sacrifice, betrayal, or the destruction of their home reality, such as an event that could probably establish Doom as even greater threat, while giving the team like even powerful motivation to keep moving forward after this loss. But I'm saying that it might be Thing. I don't think it'd be Human Torch. Sue, we've already had that near-death experience in Fantastic Four. I don't think they'd play that again. And you simply can't have Secret Wars without Reed Richards. So I don't know how they would how it would work with Human Torch. I mean, technically Sue and her are related by blood. Sue and him are related by blood, so that might work. But the other thing is setting up Secret Wars in this film with the Fantastic Four, because Avengers Doomsday is widely expected to lead, obviously, directly into Secret Wars, or at least we think this might be a prequel film, we don't know. Meaning the Fantastic Four story may also only be the beginning, but their knowledge of alternate universes, advanced technology, and Doctor Doom himself could make them indispensable during the larger multiversal conflict. But rather than serving as the supporting characters, they may become heroes whose actions determine whether the MCU actually survives its greatest crisis. So in saying all of this, what does this mean for the MCU? If handled successfully, Doomsday could establish the Fantastic Four as the new foundation, or the future foundation of Marvel Universe. The Avengers are gone, then you introduce the new Avengers, but the Fantastic Four are the people who are the central figures, as well as the X-Men, because we know they're coming. With many original Avengers no longer active, Marvel needs to characters capable of leading both scientifically and emotionally. That's why I say bring in the new Avengers, or you bring in Fantastic Four. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm each bring qualities into the MCU that they are currently lacking. So if they kill one of them off, even though I do think one of that might happen, it also allows them to bring the franchise to its next defining team rather than simply another superhero group. That's one thing I will always say about the Fantastic Four. Now, they could become heroes who understand Doctor Doom better than anyone else, but the leaders who guide Earth's mightiest heroes through the multiversal crisis that is Doctor Doom, and perhaps the characters who pay the greatest personal price along the way. But whatever happens, Doomsday is unlikely to be just another Avengers movie. It could be the moment that the Fantastic Four truly become the heart of the MCU's future. But without further ado, folks, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment also what you'd like to see on the channel, and drop a comment if what you think might happen to the Fantastic Four. But I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Yeah.